So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shaqueno Porter. I work at the Central Bank of the Bahamas in our financial market infrastructure unit. My unit deals with the payment systems we have at the bank, like RTGS, ACH, SWIFT, our CSD, and of course, our central bank digital currency, the sand dollar. So here's a brief look at the agenda that we'll go through today. First, we'll look at the overview of the sand dollar, which will cover, the introduction, why we thought it was necessary, how it was issued, and why we think it would be a good alternative to cash in the Bahamas. We'll also look at the implementation of the sand dollar. We'll take a look at the last 5 years, the stages that we went through with design, stakeholder consultation, pilots, etc. Afterwards, we'll also look at the financial landscape in the Bahamas and why we thought a CBDC would be a good fit. And then we'll take a look at objectives, designs, adoption initiatives, and engagements by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. I also have some videos to show everyone, on some of our marketing collateral and just different tactics we use to get persons involved using the CBDC back home. And finally, we'll take a look at some graphs, how the sand dollar is trending in circulation, individual wallets, merchant wallets. And finally, we'll take a look at some new updates that we have coming out next month in March. Okay. So what is the sand dollar? Well, like cash, it's issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. It is our national retail central bank digital currency, and it's simply the digital version of the Bahamian dollar. As I said, it's issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas through our Authorized Financial Institutions, or AFIs. And as an alternative to cash, it offers a greater flexibility and accessibility for residents or visitors that want to participate in financial services via a mobile phone application. So when we say an alternative to cash, I'll just give you some examples. So in the Bahamas, we are a very cash-based society. Tourism is our #1 industry in the Bahamas. And for example, taxi drivers, most taxi drivers in the Bahamas, if not all, only accept cash as a form of payment. So with the introduction of sand dollars, we've seen more taxi drivers downloading their wallets, and they can accept the CBDC as a form of payment. Now, why is this beneficial? Well, it helps the taxi drivers, go to the banks and, show a proof or source of revenue. And it just gives them the opportunity to get microloans from the banks. It's much easier than, just accept the cash and say, hey, okay, I made $5,000 last month. Well, the bank wants some record of that. Well, now that they're using sand dollars, they have this record in their phone that they can export and send to the bank as, a source of revenue. So the sand dollar, for example, it just makes it, a bit easier when applying for things, for loans, for, in this case, taxi drivers. Let's just take a look at the implementation timeline. So first came the design. This was in 2017, 2018. We created a very comprehensive, risk-driven, anti-money laundering compliant ecosystem. It has instant transaction capabilities, and settlement takes place 24/7, 365 in a secure environment. So the sand dollar is also designed with the use of libraries and APIs that allow our financial institutions to customize and issue third-party wallets to their clients. So in 2018, we began stakeholder consultation, and this phase of the implementation ensured that internal stakeholders at the bank, like internal audit, information security, information technology, legal, they all had an opportunity to review the technology before we launched it in 2020. So in 2019, we had this internal pilot where all central bank staff members would use and pay for their food at the cafeteria in sand dollars. So it was a huge success. Previously, you would have to purchase tickets with physical money, but now you can just top up your wallet and use your sand dollar wallet in the cafeteria to buy food. So that began in 2019 and it still continues to this day. And then in 2020, early in 2020, we had a pre-launch on one of our family islands called Exuma. Exuma is a very hot spot for tourists. That's where you can swim with pigs. Some of you may have seen it. And we launched the pilot in Exuma. It was a great success. And then in October 2020, in the midst of COVID, we launched the Sand Dollar wallet to the public. So with the launch of the wallet, there were some updates and introductions to new legislations in the Bahamas to legalize the digital currency as a legal tender. We made updates to the Central Bank of the Bahamas Act, the Payment System Amendment Bill. We also saw the introduction of the Bahamian dollar digital currency regulation. So why did we think it was a good idea to use a CBDC in the Bahamas? Well, let's take a look at the financial landscape. And first and foremost, the Bahamas is an archipelago of over 700 islands and keys. And we noticed over, between 2014 and 2018, that the number of commercial banks on those outer islands reduced, and banks were leaving those islands because they didn't find it profitable to operate on some of the smaller islands where the population might not be so large. So that created a growing population of unbanked and underbanked individuals with reduced access to basic financial services and limited access to cashless transactions. So many of those individuals who lived on those outer islands found it very difficult to get access to cash. Some persons would have to drive 2 to 3 hours to find the nearest ATM. So this is something that the bank wanted to start to think of a solution for, and CBDC did just that. So with this in mind, the Sand Dollar was designed with the following objectives. First and foremost, to achieve greater financial inclusion, cost effectiveness, and to provide greater access to financial services across all islands of the Bahamas. Next, we wanted to increase the efficiency of the Bahamian payment systems through more secure transactions and faster settlement speed. We also wanted to provide non-discriminatory access to payment systems without regard for age, immigration, or residency status. So anyone in the Bahamas can get a Sand Dollar wallet. The wallets have different tiers. Tier 1 wallet, you don't need any KYC documentation for. You can just download the app, sign up with one of our financial institutions, and start using it. That's a Tier 1 wallet. There's limits. John spoke about it earlier in his presentation. The limit has a holding limit of $500 and a monthly spending limit of $1,500. The Tier 2 wallet, you will need some KYC documentation for, but that wallet has a limit of $8,000 and a monthly spending limit of $10,000. And then the Tier 3 wallet, which is really for businesses, that can hold up to $1 million and has no monthly transactional limit. So we wanted to provide this non-discriminatory access, which is why we have this Tier 1 wallet that anyone, even visitors, can download and use. And finally, we wanted to strengthen our national defenses against money laundering, counterfeiting, and other illicit ends by reducing the ill effects of cash usage. So here's just a look at the overall design of the Sand Dollar system. So you'll see different modules here, the administrative module. This is really what our information technology team and information security team use to monitor the health of the system. Then you have the treasury module, which is where operators, central bank operators would, issue cash to different financial institutions. You have the insight module. This is where we get all of our data from to see how the Sand Dollar is moving throughout the different islands of the Bahamas. We have onboarder, which is how our financial institutions can onboard new clients, and so on and so forth. But if you look towards the right-hand side of this graph, you'll also see that the Sand Dollar is integrated with some of our legacy infrastructure. This includes our RTGS and our ACH. Cross-border, not yet, but just focus on the top two. So this is how persons can integrate their Sand Dollar wallet with their bank account. So if you have a bank account and you want to link it to your wallet, you can, and RTGS and ACH makes this possible. So you do need a Tier 2 wallet to integrate to RTGS and ACH. And this is how persons can top up their wallet from their bank account. You can go into your mobile banking app. You can send money to your Sand Dollar wallet. You just enter your wallet account number and it goes to your wallet. Or if you want to send money if you want to send CBDCs from your wallet to your bank account, you can do that as well. That goes to the ACH. You just link your bank account, you enter the amount that you want to transfer, you hit transfer, and in about an hour, it'll be on your bank account. So this is just a quick overlook of the design. And here's a look at the ecosystem, the current ecosystem of CBDC distribution in the Bahamas. So of course, the Central Bank of the Bahamas mints and issues the currency to our financial institutions. These can be PSPs, MTBs, commercial banks. Those institutions, they handle the CBDC onboarding. They onboard, members of the public, merchants. They handle the KYC and AML checks. They're the ones that issue you your tier 2 or tier 3 wallets. And this information is stored. And then once the person is onboarded with their wallets, they can, buy goods and services or do P2P transfers. Merchants can also do payrolls. So we've been seeing an increase in the number of merchants that use the Sand Dollar for payrolls. It's quite a good thing to see in the Bahamas. We see more and more merchants every week becoming onboarded to the infrastructure and using it to do payrolls. So it's good to see, adoption is increasing. So when we get, let's say 5-10 years from now, we expect to see a reshaped financial landscape in the Bahamas. So by providing access to these digital wallets, some of which, of course, do not require the traditional banking infrastructure, which makes it easier for anyone to participate in these electronic transactions, which, of course, take place in real time. It will reduce wait times and help with liquidity needs on the capital island and all the family islands. You don't need to ship cash to and from your island or to your business. You can just use the CBDC. And because of its nature, the Sand Dollar will bypass many of the intermediaries, which results in lower transaction costs for merchants. And traceable transactions will help to deter money laundering, fraud, and thus increasing the trust in the Bahamian financial system. And these 4 objectives on the screen, they are the building blocks for the new financial landscape in the Bahamas. And then in addition to the ones listed, we can also see a wider effect of the Sand Dollar, which is easier financial innovation, where companies and fintechs will create new financial tools and products that can emerge for the Sand Dollar. So we've seen it now with some of our PSPs, where they are using APIs to link to their custodial wallets. They have, for example, budgetary apps, auto payments, reports, spending activities that they're using to innovate with the Sand Dollar. We also see a stronger digital infrastructure as the nation continues to invest heavily in information and cybersecurity. And there will also be a decreased reliance on traditional banking services. And just for example, why this is important, the Bahamas is a nation that's prone to hurricanes. So we normally have 1 major hurricane a year. And in the event of a disaster, traditional infrastructure goes down. You have a backup. You can use the Sand Dollar to send money to your friends and families on other islands if you aren't able to get to a bank or send the money through your mobile banking app. So let's take a look at adoption. So on screen, we see 4 key challenges that we've had with getting persons to use the Sand Dollar. The first and foremost is how to top up. Well, I now have this wallet. How do I get money on the wallet? So there was a lot of public uncertainty around, okay, I have my wallet now. How do I get funds on it? So we've had a lot of educational campaigns over the last year just to teach persons how to top up. And there are numerous ways that you can top up your wallet. First and foremost, if you don't have a bank account, we have kiosks all around the island, all around the islands by our financial institutions. You can go to the kiosk, you can give it cash, and it will load funds onto your wallet. You can also visit any merchant that uses the Sand Dollar. If you give them cash, they can top up your wallet for you. Of course, if you have a bank account, you can transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet. Or if you have, if you know someone nearby who has a $1 wallet, you can give them cash. You can top up your wallet. So there are a number of ways that you can, get funds onto your wallet, and that's something that we wanted to make clear in the Bahamas. Inconsistent experiences. So we have a number of wallet providers in the Bahamas with their own proprietary apps integrated with the $1. So a lot of persons, are confused with, a certain payment provider's app. Okay, well, this app does this app does that. But what we try to explain is one clear message. Once you have the $1, you can use it with any app, no matter who your financial institution is. Once you have the CBDC, it works with all apps, no matter which app you have. We've also seen slow adoption by merchants. So the number of merchants is steady increasing now, but earlier of last year, persons were like, okay, well, I have my $1 now, where can I spend it? So the bank is really working with financial institutions, PSBs, MTBs, to increase the number of merchants that accept $1. And one of the final adoption challenges we saw was a lack of infrastructure on some of our family islands, where those areas that you want to target, but those unbanked and underbanked individuals, they may not have the best infrastructure on those islands in terms of, internet or just good internet usage. So we're also looking at an offline solution for our CBDC. This is just a quick snapshot of what the bank was engaged in for 2023, and you'll notice that there were a lot of different events here on the screen. You had literacy fairs where we assisted public education efforts and the activation of $1 wallets and $1 incentives. So a lot of these events that we tend to, we give away incentives. So if you come, you try and sign up for a wallet, we give you a chance to win a prize, maybe $5 to $50. We'll top up your wallet for you. We also sponsor various fairs like the Red Cross Fair. We visit the family islands. We have events on the family islands. We go there. People can come down, they can learn about what the $1 is and how it'll benefit them. So as you can see, it's just a lot of engagements. The bank has an adoption unit now where this unit is specifically focused on going out to the public and doing these events, doing rebates and different campaigns. And I think I have a video, so a couple of videos just to show you.
A series of videos.
Yeah.
This is a playlist, so just play them like this.
Is the audio?
Should be there. It is. Let's give it some power. And go back.
For every shape-up, after-school activity, unplanned home repair, and other day-to-day spending, there's $1. $1 is a convenient way to send and receive money instantly. $1 is easy to use. It's safe and secure. Just like physical cash, $1 is issued by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. And best of all, there are no fees for individuals to send or receive funds. Download a $1 digital wallet and enjoy the benefits of digital redeeming dollar. Spend it locally. Transfer it to and from the local bank account, or convert it to and from physical cash. Learn more at www.sandollar.ps.
Hi, my name is Amanda Ferguson with the.
So yeah, that first video you watched is just something that we have circulating on social media, just to give people some information on what it is, how they can use it, how they can top up. And this video here that you will see is a video from one of our merchants who recently signed up at one of the events, and she just speaks about her experience with the $1.
My name is Amanda Ferguson with Diggity Candle Company. We sell candles, we sell bath bombs, and this is our 10th year in business. We're actually a $1 newbie. We signed up for $1 for the Jollification Festival. The experience has been seamless. At first, new stuff, right? We don't know what to expect. With $1, we were very pleased to know that we were offered another way for customers to make payments that were digital. And this here is very important to us because we don't like handling cash, the physical cash anymore. It's safer that way to be able to have that on a digital platform. At the end of the day, I have my totals, I know what I've made, I don't have to count the cash, I don't have to worry about the security of walking to my car with cash on me. I can tell you that, I mean, I won't go back to the old way for sure. I'd much rather the transaction being on my phone. It's simple, it's instantaneous, and my customers have actually loved it.
Right, in this last video that you'll see, it's an example of one of our rebate campaigns. So it's just some promotional activity for a rebate campaign that we had in December. Right, so that was a rebate campaign. If you went to one of the malls and you bought some, some goods, and you showed us your receipt or the audit trail in your wallet, we would refund you, a certain amount of money to your wallet. So those are just some of the ways, we communicate and try to spread the word of SandDollar. So we use television, radio, social media, and of course, face-to-face. So here's a look at the total value of SandDollars in circulation. So as of this month, we have about 2.1 million SandDollars in circulation. This is still a very low number. This number represents maybe less than 0.5% of the total value in circulation. Of course, notes being the highest and coins being right after. But as you can see, there's a steady increase of SandDollars in circulation. But also what we want to see is the velocity of SandDollars increasing. So we want to see SandDollars moving from wallet to wallet, from business to business, not just the number of SandDollars increasing in circulation. Here's a look at the number of individual wallets. So right now we get this information from our Authorized Financial Institutions. There are about 120 SandDollar wallets out there. And to put this into perspective, the Bahamas is a nation that has a population of a little over 400,000. So we're a very small country. So 120,000 wallets, it's a pretty good number. And merchants, we have, I think, yes, 1,800, right? So this is where we want to see the growth. We want to see more merchants in the Bahamas accepting and using SandDollars. So finally, look at what's coming next. We call it Wallet 2.0. And what Wallet 2.0 will bring for SandDollar users and persons who want to use the CBDC is self-activation. So I spoke about the Tier 1 wallet earlier. Currently, if you want to use the SandDollar wallet, you download it from the App Store. And once you open up the app, it lists all of our financial institutions. You select one, it gives you their contact information, you email them, and they say, okay, do you want a Tier 1 wallet? If so, they just send you an activation code. If you want a Tier 2 wallet, you send them your KYC. Well, with self-activation, it removes the initial contact for the AFI. So you download the wallet, and you select your authorized financial institution, and you get an activation code for your wallet. So there's no need to reach out to the AFI for that activation code. You get it automatically. Now, obviously, this self-activation can only be done with Tier 1 wallets because of the KYC requirements needed for Tier 2 wallets. So self-activation is really meant for tourists or persons who may just want to test out the CBDC and see how it works. They can get a Tier 1 wallet, self-activate it, and start using it. There's also the introduction of self-help and security questions to assist you with reactivating your wallet on a new device. So let's say you buy a new phone. Currently, you have to reach out to your AFI and say, hey, I just got this new device. Can you please help me setting up my wallet on my new device? But with the introduction of self-help, like I said, it'll introduce these security questions, you answer the questions, and you can reactivate your wallet on your new device. Of course, you have your same balance, your same transaction history and everything. Wallet 2.0 will also bring with it branding opportunities. AFIs will be able to really brand their custodial wallets or with their company's color schemes and logos. And we hope that this will make it easier to use, and this self-activation, self-help will also increase with adoption and give merchants more reasons to use the Sound Dollar wallet.